Welcome everybody to Coastal Business Supplies. This is Crafts with Kids and I'm Meredith and we've got Jamie on.
Hello.
All right, take it away, Jamie.
Okay, so today's craft is going to be heat transfer vinyl. So heat transfer vinyl is a big one out there, so we're going to go through that today. So we are going to move on to what you're going to need. So for heat transfer vinyl, it's pretty much like every transferring process. You're going to need your heat transfer vinyl. You're going to need your vinyl cutter. So that would be your equipment, as well as your weeding tool and a heat press or a home iron. So just a few things you need, and then additional supplies that you could need, which we're going to talk about a little bit later in this. So let's move on to the actual cutting. So when I did the cutting, I used a Brother scan and cut with this. So I had done a few before, and I had done a test cut. So I always recommend doing a test cut. But that was just an overview of the cutting stage, and then a slight overview of weeding.
All right, well, let's talk about all the different vinyls that we carry. The standard vinyl, I guess you would say, would be the Easy Weed. We do have 50 different colors that you can choose from. They come in 12-inch sheet up to master rolls. All of the vinyls that we carry are CPSIA certified. The standard vinyl is compatible with cotton, polyester, blends, leather, just about anything. It's kind of a semi-gloss, and it's about 90 microns. The Easy Weed stretch is going to be a little bit thinner than that at 85 microns, and it's more of an ultra matte finish. And in addition to the cotton, polyester, and blends, you can also use this on lycra and spandex. The third vinyl here we have is electric, which kind of has a shimmery metallic finish. You can use this on cotton, polyester, blends, and leather. And again, that's at 85 microns with 23 colors. And holographic, which is very similar to the electric. It's got that shimmery gloss finish. It comes in 17 different colors. It's about 110 microns, so it is a bit thicker than the electric, but it has some really cool colors like the lens and the gold and the silver lens and that kind of thing. Jamie, you want to talk about the rest?
Yeah. So we also have the pattern vinyl. If you haven't seen it, there's just different patterns that Caesar comes out with. There's been leaves before, and Christmas, like holly. They have a lot of different, so we definitely have that online. They come in 12 sheets as well, master rolls. Work with cotton, polyester blends, also the spandex material. Semi-gloss. They are going to be a bit thicker, and there's a bit more involved in it because you have to, on how you have to cut it and whatnot, but semi-gloss. And then the brick, that's going to be the thickest that Caesar offers at this time. 6 different colors, 20-inch rolls, also compatible with cotton, polyester, blends, and your spandex. More of a semi-gloss finish as well. Going over that. Another fun item, that's one of my personal favorites, is the Easy Weed adhesive. This one works with the foils, which we're going to talk about later in this webinar series. Stay tuned. But comes in 12-inch rolls, compatible with cotton, polyester blends, 75 microns. So again, that's a really fun one just because how it lays down. It's more of a clear adhesive that lays down first, and then you lay your foil down. So that's really nice. And then Twinkle is a new one by Caesar. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely check that out now. That's really a neat one. 5 colors right now. I'm definitely sure that, they're probably going to add. So we'll see. And then 20-inch rolls, so similar to, regular Flake we're going to talk about. Works on cotton polyester blends. That's 225 microns. And then the last one that we're going to talk about on this is the glitter. So that one also has a lot of colors similar to the Easy Weed. You have 51 colors. It comes in 12 inches and 20 inches wide. Master rolls are available. We have different sizes available as well. So again, check that out on coastalbusiness.com. And then compatible with cotton polyester blends, leather. That's 12.8 in thickness. Still a bit thick as well.
Wonderful. Okay. I'm going to show you a couple videos here. The first one, we're going to show a left chest logo, which is fairly detailed, and we're using standard Easy Weed with this one. Okay, as you saw, we did the standard vinyl. The difference between this and like sign vinyl or adhesive vinyl is you are going to want to cut in reverse and then lay it down flat to press it. If you cut, if it's not in reverse, you're going to have some backwards lettering. But it's a fairly easy process. That was my 14-year-old there pressing it. Next, we are going to show the foil, which, as Jamie said, is one of her favorites and mine as well. Okay, with the adhesive, you'll see that what we did was we crunched up the foil to give it kind of that marbled look, but you can, of course, just place your sheet down and just do a single color. We thought we'd kind of mix it up a little bit, add 2 colors, and crunch it up to give it a fun effect. All right, next we have some pressing tips. So when pressing layers, make sure that the first few layers that you press, you only want to just tack it down, so just 2 or 3 seconds. And then the final layer, you can go for the full amount of time, and that keeps your vinyl from shrinking, and then it lines up a little bit better. When centering a graphic, you can fold your shirt in half and then press a crease in it just for a couple of seconds. And then what I do is I fold the graphic in half to get the exact center, and I line up the creases, and then that way it's usually straight and right in the center of the shirt. If you're using a pressing tool, it does come in handy when you are working with zippers or buttons or anything that is raised up. That gives you a good press, so you know that it's really getting embedded into those fibers. And then, of course, we always recommend to use a cover sheet like silicone, Teflon. If you don't have that, you can always grab just a piece of copy paper, or something that is has no printing on it, just so that doesn't get transferred over to your garment.
And then we're going to go over the some standard vinyl tips and tricks that we have found here. So if you're having trouble weeding away your design, we have found is if you press down your top platen for about 10-15 seconds just to warm up that bottom platen, and then you place your heat transfer vinyl on top of the lower platen. It's really easy to weed away because that heat activates the adhesive a little bit. So we use that sometimes if very detailed designs, and if you don't accidentally want to tear it, sometimes it's better to do it that way, as well as don't have to struggle sometimes. Weeding is one of my favorite parts of vinyl, though, so I really don't mind the extra work involved, but just a little bit easier on you. And then when weeding glitter vinyl, something that we find is helpful is to use sidewalk chalk over the cuts, so over the back of over the cuts, and that makes it more visible when weeding, because when working with glitter, sometimes it's really hard to see where your lines are and what you need to weed away. So that's a really good tip as well. And then always follow, pressing instructions when working with this. Of course, we give instructions, and if you use too much heat, pressure, or time, it can really affect your vinyl. So sometimes if you're running into issues, definitely check or recheck the pressing times that we have suggested, or at another, site. And then always best to do your test cut. Of course, you don't want to send your full job to your cutter and then have it cut and then find out that it cut too much and it's not workable, or it didn't cut at all. So it is always best to do that test cut first and then send your job.
All right, well, let's show a video of cutting some glitter flake here. And obviously, when I said cutting your glitter flake, I really meant pressing your glitter flake.
So we did go over cutting a little bit earlier in the webinar, but basically, you follow these tips. Cuts it away. We went over the weeding it away. As you saw, which Meredith went over in the last tips, I did a few different presses. So again, you want to tack it down for a few seconds, bring it back up. If you have multiple layer, tack that down again. Your final layer is the full time. So that's what I had done in this video, is I had done the full time on that.
All right, our next video is going to show how you can put those kiddos to work.
Okay, so there's my kid at work. He really enjoyed the weeding process. He thought it was really cool. So he had a really good time. Um, so he did the weeding, and then I did the pressing because again he is a little young, so I didn't really want him around the heat press. But of course, if they are just supervision, so he definitely helped me with that. And then just a general picture. When you're cutting Caesar vinyl, I used, the Brother Scan and Cut, or any vinyl. I used, in this video, the Brother Scan and Cut. There's many different colors that Caesar offers, as we kind of went over earlier in this presentation. Also, there's many different vinyl cutters you can use. Meredith used a Graphtec, but, there's Cameo, there's silhouette versions, there's Crickets. So there's definitely a lot of different craft and then commercial cutters out there.
Okay, that had to be my favorite video, by the way. All right, here we've got our finished product. So you'll see on the right-hand side, clearly lacrosse is our sport here in this household. So we did a towel we thought, great for Mother's Day coming up, tea towels, those kinds of things. Tote bags are great. The bridal t-shirts, just a simple monogram, or of course, spirit wear, sportswear, those kinds of things.
Looking good. And then I had done a bandana for my youngest, which is what my oldest was weeding away, for his face. And then I did a little onesie. The 1 years are really important for birthdays, or even the 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So I figured that would be kind of a good idea to get into as well.
Well, everybody, enjoy your weekend. And hopefully it's a nice one.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us all.
See you guys later.